Hey guys, I don't normally make videos like this, but I'd really like to see this game succeed in its Kickstarter funding goals. Blackspace is a sort of sci-fi mining game, in that you build a base on an asteroid, fortify it through terraforming and defense systems, and fight off attackers so that you can continue mining operations. Think of it as a mix between the base building aspect of a traditional real-time strategy game and a tower defense without lanes, meaning that attackers can come from any direction. On release, it will be a Windows PC game, but if its launch proves successful, they'll be able to port it to OS X, Linux, and possibly consoles as well. If this is something that interests you, it would be great if you pledged towards the project and shared it with others. The following is a promotional video they released to tell a bit about the game they're creating. At any time during the video, you can click the annotation in the bottom right to visit the game's Kickstarter page. There will also be a link in the description and another link at the end of the video. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Andrea, the producer of Pixel Foundry Games. While you're watching this video, keep in mind that Blackspace is just at the first phase of creation, which proves that most of the main systems work, but almost all the visuals are placeholder. This is one of the reasons we're starting our Kickstarter campaign.
Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm heading up the creative end of Blackspace. So Blackspace is a game about space mining. The gameplay takes place on the surface of some really unique asteroids. You'll build mining operations, find element deposits, and defend yourself. It has a lot of elements similar to real-time strategy, but with an emphasis on defending your base. You'll pilot a powerful vehicle. It's called the Lander. It's a heavy lift surface transport intended for our general mining operation and support. It can do everything from prep the ground before setting up a base to relocating buildings. It can repair damage and collect scrap. It also has some powerful digging tools, which not surprisingly can be used for defense as well. The game is set up so that your choices in research will sculpt the game to your playstyle. You can work to unlock technologies that allow your buildings to mine more efficiently. There's also base defense, turrets, artillery, cannons, if you prefer to turn your base into a more self-defending fortress. Or if you really like getting into the action firsthand, you can upgrade your lander systems to turn it into a really powerful weapon.
Hi, I'm Volga. I'm the co-founder of Pixel Foundry and the guy in charge of everything technical on Blackspace. The ability to use the physical nature of objects as part of your strategy is something completely new for the strategy genre. Just about anything you encounter in the game can be moved, lifted, diverted according to physics. The world reacts as you would expect, and that's really unique for a strategy game.
So the video you're about to see is raw gameplay footage of Blackspace very early in production. This means you're going to see unfinished art assets and many things that are placeholder. We decided to focus early on the core game and features, strategy, and gameplay controls. The items that exist in the game currently are there only to the extent that they demonstrate a feature, functionality needed by the game design, or some technical requirement. Now that much of these key pieces are in place and functional, we can move into production, where the actual art for the assets is created. Keep in mind that while the systems used to create the assets are just about done, the assets themselves are not. This is the Lander. It's the main unit the player will control in the game. The Lander gets around by making use of its various thrusters, controlled on the keyboard by pressing W, A, S, or D. These controls will be familiar to anyone who has played a first-person shooter. You take off by engaging the main thrusters, which is mapped to the right mouse button. You can also maintain your height and hover by clicking the middle mouse button. Hovering will be used extensively during gameplay. It is what allows you to stabilize the craft and maintain a specific altitude with no further player interaction required. One of the major features that makes this game different aside from the spherical play surface is the ability to manipulate the terrain. The asteroid's entire surface is covered in a blanket of regolith which can be mined. There will be multiple ways to dig, some more effective than others. Using rockets as you see here, you can excavate large areas pretty quickly. One of the main reasons for excavating the asteroid is to uncover element and mineral deposits. The Lander has various equipment that will help you locate these deposits. Once a deposit is found, it can be harvested, either by the Lander or designating the area as a mining site, which will allow units to automatically extract the elements. Some resource types deplete, and others are permanent. Bases will tend to be built near permanent deposits. Attachments are tools that can be equipped to the lander to perform various tasks. This attachment allows the user to smooth rough areas, build up low spots, or flatten hills. In this case, we're using the smoothing attachment to prepare this crater for base construction. Here I'm going to show you a bit about building a mining base in Blackspace. It all starts with a warehouse. The warehouse is where elements are collected and cashed in. The gridded area around the warehouse indicates the area within which certain perks are available. Buildings constructed or placed within this area can take advantage of various enhancements that are provided by the warehouse operation. There are many building types that can be built, but the basics of a mining base are a warehouse, a source of power, a mining rig, and some defense. The arrangement and quantities of these will depend on the situation. Buildings can be rearranged by the lander to suit a specific circumstance or to provide better efficiency after being built. Here I'm just trying to build a base that will withstand the amount of enemies that are about to attack. Bases will be built at various key locations on the planet in order to mine specific elements that are required in order to finish the mission. These bases will be interconnected and will supply your main dropship with the harvested elements. I'm going to quickly show you the use of the Tether Attachment on the lander. This is another way the lander can manipulate its environment. The lander is a heavy lift vehicle, and the tether is how it connects to objects that will be moved. The reticle indicates whether the object is within the range for tethering, and once it is, the tether can be fired and attached to the object. This is used for mining, base manipulation, and even grabbing enemies. Here I'm picking up some element deposits and cashing them in at the warehouse manually. Another important feature is the Resupply Pad. This is where you can purchase new equipment for your lander as well as restock things like ammo and fuel. During battles, your task as the lander pilot is to supplement base defense, carry out repairs, and generally work to keep your base operational. Enemies are deposited on the asteroid from dropships that land on element deposits. They mine these deposits simply to create the materials used to create more enemies. Battles can help the user earn money to build even bigger, as long as they can withstand the onslaught. Once the enemies are destroyed, they will leave carcasses that can be harvested, just as any element deposit can be harvested. This will go directly into your account and can be used to purchase more building upgrades, lander attachments, and supplies. This is also an opportunity for your buildings and defensive structures to earn veteran-level based upgrades. The longer a structure exists and performs its function, the more powerful it becomes. So towers that see a lot of action without getting destroyed can level up quite quickly.
In addition to the game being fun and compelling, we want to make it visually memorable as well. What we don't want is one asteroid to look the same as the next one. There will be unique rock formations, gas pockets, downed vessels, and other surprises hidden beneath the surface.
With the help of the great guys at NVIDIA, we will also be able to offer 3D vision support. They have been awesome in helping to get our graphics technologies running fast and flawlessly. We're also really excited to have our order in for an Oculus Rift dev kit.
Since we already have Stereo 3D implemented in our game, we think adding support for the Rift, including head tracking, will be relatively straightforward.
If you don't know what the Rift is, it's awesome. We'll have a link to it on our Kickstarter page. A game you love can never be big enough. We listed our more ambitious plans on the Kickstarter page in the case that we do better than we hope, so you can see where any extra funds will be directed.
When compared to other genres, strategy games have an uncommonly high number of moving parts that all need to be synchronized. The goal has been set to get all of these systems functioning early so we have plenty of time to tune, making sure the game is tight, goals are clear, and the gameplay is enjoyable. There's a lot more to the game and not enough time to discuss it all in this video. We are hoping to make this an experience unlike anything else available, but familiar enough for people to get the hang of it quickly and start having fun right out of the gate.